Okay, so if you've watched this channel at all in the past little while, I like to do a different variety of things. And for anybody who's new here, I mostly do tech videos, tech update videos, reviews of different devices. I did an Xbox Series S review. I did an iPad video, my last video. But this video is a little bit different. So these are Vessis. This is not a phone, this is not a device, this is not something you plug in. Although, saying that, I would like to see what capabilities a phone that you plug in would have, because that sounds pretty cool, to be honest. But no, these are Vessis. These are a fabric net waterproof shoe. These shoes have been getting so much publicity, so much attention in the past few years that so many more people are buying them. Like, most of my friends have Vessis now, when 2 years ago, when they were still around, nobody had these. Like, nobody I knew had Vessis, and now I see them everywhere. On public transit, when I'm out and about downtown, walking around the city, they're everywhere. So they're more popular now, and they're growing in popularity with more styles coming out. A lot of videos that you will see Vessis in, not all of them, obviously they usually tell you they're sponsored. So the first time I saw Vessis was in an Accessorize Me video a little while back, a few years ago, and he talked about Vessis, and I was just like,
oh, cool, what's that?
But obviously, people who are sponsored by Vessi are gonna say nice things about Vessi. You're getting paid by them. But I wanted to do a video on them if people were wondering about them, thinking, what's the hype about? You can take whatever I say with a grain of salt, but this is my honest opinion as someone who has spent their own hard-earned money that they don't make from YouTube just yet because you haven't subscribed. This is an honest review. So the first pair of Vessis that I got were when they released the Everyday Active. These are still in good condition. I can wash these as well, but you can tell that there's some bits of fabric coming out the side. These are very well used, is what I'm saying. But I've had these for a while now, and these, honestly, these are my favorite pair of shoes. They're the most comfy, nicest pair of shoes, and they're so easy to wash. Like, white shoes I don't usually like to take out, but I take these out all the time, and I get them really dirty. But I wash them. But I also got the Vessi Weekend shoes. I believe that's what they're called. Now I forgot. See, I had this prepared for the video. Now I forgot what it was called. Yes, I got the oak brown one. These things are also, these are more of a casual shoe. These ones are sort of a rendition of the Everyday, which is their classic shoe, one of the first ones they made, I guess, for more active people, for ones who like to run, do sports, things like that. These are mostly slip-ons. These are more for the aesthetic. So they do slip on and off. If you have a really good fit running and doing sports, I played volleyball with these in an indoor court before, they were fine. They did great. They didn't really slip off my foot. I think once in volleyball, but that's because I'm not very well coordinated. But mostly they are slip-on shoes, as well as these ones. So they do have a little bit of stretch to them. These ones, again, that one's more for active. Why don't I just say for more activity? But these ones are more for casual use, for when, you know, I usually wear these out when I'm going out for dinner, or I'm just hanging out, I'm not doing anything intense. I've had these the longest, so I've had the most experience with these, I've spent the most time with them, and I've worn them so much that they just, if they were gonna break on me, or they were gonna start falling apart or anything, they would have done it by now. But these things are, for me at least, very comfortable. I love wearing these things. Like, any chance I get, I will wear my Vessis. Easy slip on, easy to slip off. I will say, for more of a comfort factor, I will say, if I compare these two, these ones take the cake. Like the Everyday or the Everyday, I did try the regular Everyday, so these are the Everyday 2.0 or the Everyday Active, as I mentioned. They're the most comfy ones, so if you want comfort over everything else and you kind of like, you like the look of these, I would say get these ones. These ones though, it's not to say that these ones are uncomfortable, because these are very comfortable. They're just, when you're doing a lot of walking and things like that, again, the active ones are made for stuff like that. If you're going on longer walks and stuff, they're more of a stylish kind of shoe. You wouldn't do the same thing with both pairs, but these are still very comfy. So comfort levels, very, very nice. And waterproof levels, a lot of people would be like, oh, like,
how do I know that they're actually waterproof?
The shoes themselves, I personally dunked them in water, soaked them with my foot inside. I think I went to a mall and they had like this big fountain thing outside. And my friend, who I was with, you know who you are, you're watching this video. I dunked my foot in the fountain, like my full foot. It was nothing, no water whatsoever. Now he has a pair. But yes, they are perfectly waterproof. Yeah, but basically, no matter, it's not like there's a section on the shoe that isn't waterproof. Like if you get it on the back or if you get it on where the laces are, oh no, water's gonna get in. No, if you're walking in pouring rain with these shoes on, you're going to be fine. Okay, the only thing you're going to get is if rain falls in here, which most of the time pants covers that, so you're not really worried if it is raining. I will say though, there is a cleaning guide that comes in the box with your shoes. Please follow it. If you don't follow that, you could ruin the waterproofing in the shoe. Usually what they do is they just tell you to take the laces off, take the insole off. You can throw these in the washing machine and on cold. And you can put them in the washing machine and then just leave them out to dry. Don't put them in the dryer, but leave them out to dry. And then they're clean and good to go. And even if you do have some dirt on it, you can get a little brush or even use your hand to try and just wipe it with just water, just cold water. Just try and wipe it off if you get something on there. You wouldn't be able to tell this at all. Like, I can't even tell actually. It's actually gone. I spilled coffee on these things, and all I did was I got water and I just rubbed the top off, and then put it in my washing machine, and then bam, they're good to go. They look like the day I bought them. Now, when it comes to price, they are very good shoes. They are kind of on the more expensive side to things, but think about what you're getting. You're getting a waterproof shoe that is extremely comfortable, extremely convenient with a slip-on, slip-off, and they are very good quality. Again, mine has lasted me so long, and it's not falling apart, it's not anything. This thing is still perfect. The Weekends, for example, these things, Canadian pricing is $135. So that's Canadian. In America, if you're watching this and you're in the States, it's going to be cheaper obviously, and a lot of other places in the world might be cheaper depending, but just check the exchange rate obviously. But 135 bucks Canadian, it is what it is. It's not too expensive, but it's not cheap, you know? So it all depends on what your budget is. But there are a lot of different styles of shoe that you can get for different prices. There's a lot of different ranges, you know, ranges from 120 to 175-ish. And they have new ones coming out, like on Kickstarter today. They have a more hiking or outdoor based shoe that's not it's not quite the active, it's a little bit of a step further of more of an outdoor type shoe. So that's on Kickstarter, but I'm sure it'll come to Vessi's actual website, and they're starting to open stores as well. Depending on how you feel about those prices will obviously depend on the show, whether you buy them or whether you don't buy them. So that's completely up to you, and it depends on your budget. But I would say for the price and what I paid as well, I did get them on sale, but it wasn't that big of a difference from the regular prices. It was still above $100 easily. I don't regret spending that money on these shoes because I know that they've already, I bought other pairs of shoes in the same time I had my Vessis, and those other shoes, these things have outlasted them, and they're still going strong and everything. And again, it depends on what you do with your shoes, but with what I do all the same stuff with all my shoes. So, but I feel like these are probably my most versatile shoes because I take these to basically every event bar one or two things I'll do in a week, and these are just convenient. These shoes, I highly recommend them, and Vessis, they're just the coolest little waterproof shoe. So it's a little bit of a different video this week talking about shoes. I probably will never do it again, to be honest. It's just these shoes that I think, as a part of this channel and the stuff that I like to use every day to make videos, these are sort of something that I always use, and I know they're growing in popularity and a lot of people wonder about them, so I thought I'd clear the air. What are they about? Are they good enough? Also, if you want to hear more tech related, gear related, YouTube, even if you're wanting to start your own YouTube channel, or even just everyday talking about editing and photography and things like that, I have started up a podcast. Now, the one thing that I should say before I plug the podcast is it's not currently on Apple Podcasts. So if you use Apple Podcasts like myself, it's not currently on there for some reason. I'm having some issues getting it on there. But all the other podcast apps so far, like Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, you know, those things all have the podcast. It's called Tie on Tape. I'll link it in the description below. And yeah, if you like that sort of thing, if you like the channel and everything, I'm sure you'll like the podcast as well. And if you like listening to them, feel free to add it and listen to those episodes and let me know what you think. But there's lots of stuff happening over the next little while, guys. There's a lot of crazy things that I want to try out. So I'm still looking at the new macOS Ventura that just came out a few days ago now. And I really want to try it. Stage Manager and everything looks amazing. So I want to do a little bit of a review on that. There's a few other tech products that have come out and things that I want to kind of review a little bit or talk about. And also I have videos coming up on the new DaVinci Resolve coming to iPad. But I have lots of stuff in the works. So if you like my videos, if you for some reason like what I make of this channel and how I am, I guess that's the best way I can describe it. I can't describe it any differently. I'm just I am. Sam, I am. I'm not Sam, my name's not Sam. But please feel free to subscribe. Please feel free to let me know in the comments. I love seeing comments pop up on my videos. I get a notification every time. Love seeing it. So please comment on the video. Please let me know what you want to see in the future, and please let me know what you think. But until then, I'll keep working on the videos, and hopefully I'll keep seeing you back in the channel. So we'll see you then. These are Vessies.